Hi guys, welcome back to the Knitting Expat Podcast channel. My name is Mina and I'm your host today. I have no idea what podcast number we're at. I don't remember the last time I did a podcast at this point. I think it must have been sometime in July after Yarningham, once I got back from Birmingham. So it's been a while. It is now October, so July to October. Yeah, it has been a while. I have posted some videos since then, of course. It's not been completely bereft of videos on this channel, but it has been a while since I've sat down to do a podcast. And this probably won't be my sort of typical format for a podcast. And yeah, this is all about the crochet blankets at the moment. I am working on quite a few. I don't know what got a hold of me. I think it was like, okay, the weather's turning, let's just make all the blankets. I don't know. And I'm not the kind of person to have multiple whips going at the same time. But for some reason, blankets don't seem to count in my head. And now I've got like 5 crochet blankets on the go, plus 1 pinwheel scrap blanket, which is one of my own patterns, and that's a knit blanket. So 6 blankets on the go at the moment. Although, having said that, 3 of them are close to being finished. So yeah, probably by the next time I do a podcast, 3 of them will be off and done, and then there'll just be 3 left to do. If I'm out of breath, it's just because I've spent a bit of time gathering all the bits together and running up and downstairs a couple of times. Anyway, if you're new here, thank you for joining me. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, feel free to subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I know my content has been very sporadic in the last couple of years since I've had my second baby, but life, just life. It's a combination of, and I know I've spoken about this before, but it's a combination of having a second kid. My oldest, Layla, is in school, and little one is in nursery a couple of days a week, and then so it's a combination of second child, and Perry's job has changed. He's away a lot more for work now, and it's just the nature of his work at the moment. So I don't have as much time to do this sort of stuff, so my time is a lot more limited. I think that's all what I was trying to get at. Anyway, if you did see my last video, I've started a new series on the channel called Finishing Fridays, which I've been really enjoying, and it's not every Friday, but at the moment I'm trying to keep it to at least every other week I have a video. So I know I don't think I posted a video last week. Did I? I can't remember. Anyway, in the last Finishing Friday video that I posted, which I actually think is the last video that I posted, I mended this sweater, this cardigan, and I patched the sleeve, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like on, because I realised I never tried it on to show you. And ironically, it's literally right where my palm is, so it's not super obvious when I wear it anyway. So yeah, anyway, I'm really happy I finally did that, because it's now not at risk of being unraveling any further. Basically, a bit of the bind off edge had, like, the yarn had worn through, and so a bunch of it had come undone, and it was just looking a mess. It had been like that for over a year, and I was still wearing the cardigan, but I figured about time I sat down, and I did like a little patch repair, which turned out really well actually. So if you're interested in how I did that, go back and watch that video. So, what was I going to say? It's been a while, I've kind of forgotten how to do this. I do have a lot of things to go through. I will do a small little yarn haul at the end, only because there's some stuff out at the moment that, for those of you in the UK especially, this may be appropriate or applicable to you, so you might want to check it out. So stay tuned for that at the end. So first off, finished objects. Genuinely, I have no idea what I have finished since I last podcasted, and I know it's more than what I'm just going to show you now. I'm just not entirely sure where it all is at the moment, to be quite honest. My attic craft room space is a bit of a mess at the moment. I'm in the midst of tidying and reorganizing and sorting stuff out, but anyway. So my first pair of my first finished object, you can tell it's been a while, anyway, are these socks. These are my cobblestones pattern from my very first Beyond Vanilla sock collection, and the yarn was some yarn that I got in Knit Crate ages ago now, that I over dyed when I went down to Devon. There's also a video about that. It's called the Devon Dyeing Diaries or something like that, but it's a vlog on the channel about dyeing yarn. And so this was one of the yarns that I dyed. So that's this one, and the other one is also another one that I dyed when I went down to Devon. I over dyed this sock yarn. This is just plain vanilla socks with my heel pattern. So I have a modified German short row heel with a mini heel flap adjustment, which is included in all of my sock patterns, and especially in my vanilla sock recipe as well. So I have 2 vanilla sock patterns. One is free, one is paid for. The one that's paid for has the heel pattern in it. So yeah, those are my 2 finished socks at the moment. I really haven't knit that many socks this year. I think I'm not like getting tired of it, but I feel like, I don't know, I've been having, obviously I know I talked about having like joint pain and stuff before in my wrists, and so knitting at such a tight gauge has been difficult to do for long periods of time. So I'm kind of like trying to mix it up by using different size needles and things, and it just means I'm not going through socks as quickly. Anyway, so those are the finished objects, and like I said, I know I've finished a shawl, I know I finished something else, but actually I think the shawl might be in my finishing pile because it's got like a bajillion ends that need weaving in, and I haven't done that yet. So, and it needs to be blocked, so I'll show that to you guys next time. So moving on to all these blankets. The first one, which is probably one you've seen the most about, is my corner to corner crochet blanket. I decided, and typically the way I've seen these done in the past, it's been people have just basically done one giant crochet corner to corner. They've done corner to corner for the whole blanket, so they just keep making it bigger and bigger until it's the size they want, and then they do the other half by making it smaller and smaller. And I just knew that wasn't going to work for me. So I did them in blocks, and I went from one, let me just grab one piece to show you, might be easier. So I just started at one corner and increased until I got to 20 clusters across, and then started decreasing back down. So start with 1 cluster, increase up to 20, and then back down to 1 at the end. So that's how I've done mine. My blocks are coming out approximately, they've not been blocked, the blocks haven't been blocked, but they are approximately 12-inch squares, which means that my blanket, and I've done 30 blocks now, which means my blanket is now, what was that, 5 by 6? Yeah, 5 blocks by 6 blocks big, which is pretty good in centimeters. That's 1.5 meters by 1.8 meters. So I don't know, what's that, 6 foot by 5 foot, 5 foot, yeah, because each block is 1 foot. So yeah, 5 by 6 feet. And then once it's all joined, I was thinking about doing a border on them and then joining them, but I think I'm just going to join them directly and do a border around the outside of the whole blanket. So that will add another little bit onto the size as well. So that's my next big project, is to, the next big step of this project is to lay out all the blocks, decide on the pattern of the order of the blocks, and you know what's going to go where, and then get to seaming them. That will probably be part of a Finishing Friday video, because I feel like seaming and that's like the finishing stages, so that will probably be in a Finishing Friday video. The next blanket that I am working on, and the yarn for that, this corner to corner, is just a lot of scrap yarn, and I was using 3.5mm crochet hook for that. I have no idea about what letter that is. I could just tell you the size of my crochet hooks in millimeters, because that's all I know. Then the next blanket project I started working on are these little granny squares, and how cute are these granny squares? They're so adorable. So I've got them in 5 different, I've got 5 colours of yarn that I'm using, and just various combinations of these colours. So I'll just show you each of them. And it's 100% cotton yarn. I'm not really a fan of, the yarn's not great. Like, it's fine, it does the job. It's very splitty though. I'm not gonna recommend it. But I have it now, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna finish the blanket. It'll be fine. Like I said, it works out fine. It's just very splitty, and even when I've woven in all the ends, it doesn't feel very secure. So I have actually got an idea of how I'm gonna manage securing all the different ends on this, because I have been weaving them in as I go along. You can see it on the back here. I have been like weaving them in as I've been going along, but they just don't feel very secure. So I have a plan, and again I will share that on a future video, probably in a finishing Friday, because again I feel like that's a finishing issue on that one. Then next up I have this blanket that I'm working on, my crochet Hexi blanket. I'm not sure where I came up with the idea to do this blanket. I'm just trying to see which side's the front and back. I think this is right. Again, it was part of, I was clearing out space in the attic, and way back when we first moved into this house, probably would have been in 2022 when we redid Layla's room. Or was it 2021? No. Yeah, 2021. Right around the time when she started school, we redid her room, and part of the things that I made some decorations for her room in rainbow colours, because she has a rainbow themed room, because she's my rainbow baby and she loves rainbows. And so I had a bunch of this rainbow cotton yarn left over from doing some of the decorations for Layla's room, and the yarn I had is actually mercerized cotton, so it's not really the stuff that is suitable for dishcloths and stuff. So I just did a couple of hexes out of them, and I was like, oh, that looks like quite fun. And then I made more hexes, and then I was like, well, actually I need more colours to kind of round out the selection that I've got, because I only had 7 colours, and I wanted it to have more than just a more gradual change in rainbow colours. So I went to Hobbycraft, which is our local craft shop, and picked up some more yarn. They didn't have the same yarn exactly. What they had was, what I got from there was is their own brand. It's a cotton blend, so it's 50-50 cotton acrylic, but it's really soft and it's really nice. So this red is the mercerized cotton that I had from before. Okay, and then this is the Hobbycraft yarn, and it's a lot softer, so it feels a lot more like your more traditional yarn compared to this one, which is a bit more scratchy. I mean, it's not scratchy, it's just mercerized cotton is not particularly soft, but it's fine, it does the job. And then this one again is the Hobbycraft sort of golden yellow colour. And then I've got the rest. I added 5 more colours to the selection, and so now we've got 12 colours in total. I've already seamed 4 of the colours completely together in the blanket, and the rest have been seamed in strips for now. So all the strips are done, and now I need to lay them out and seam them together to the blanket. So basically almost finished. And then once that's done, I think I will crochet a border around the whole thing, because I feel like a crocheted border really sort of finishes off a blanket, in my opinion. Anyway, so that's another project. Again, I'm using DK-ish yarn, I think. I don't have any of the labels, so I can't show you. And the hook size I'm using is a 4mm hook for that one, for anyone who's interested. And the hexes are coming out a decent size. I'd say, I don't know where my tape measure's gone. One second. Give you a rough idea of what the sizes of the hexes are. They are about 6 inches across, so a little bit bigger than these granny squares are about 5 inches square, 5 inches across. So these hexes are coming out just that smidge bit bigger, which is fine by me. Then I'm whipping through these projects super fast. Lots of rainbow colours, if you can tell. Next is, actually I'll do something else, and then this one will feed in nicely to my haul bit at the end. Okay, so next up in this lovely grey felt basket, which has been holding this project for me. It's been really easy to tote it around the house like this, carry it up and down the stairs and stuff, is this crochet blanket project. It's a bit blown out, but this is a really fun one. It's taken a while to get the gauge right, because when I first started it was definitely too tight, and then I steam blocked it. I'm showing you the wrong side, that's not helpful, is it? That's the side you want to see, that's the front. It started out a little bit too tight, and so I steam blocked it, because this yarn is a 50-50 acrylic wool blend. I think it's 50-50. I don't have the ball bands. It's just some random yarn. It's like a heavy worsted weight, Aran weight kind of yarn. It's nothing particularly special. And so I think I started with a 4.5mm hook, which was definitely too tight, and after I'd done a few repeats, I was too far that like the stubborn side of me was like, I'm not ripping this out. I'm not doing this again. So I carried on and I just moved up my needle sizes. So I think I went from 4.5 to a 5, and then I think I moved up to a 5.5 eventually, and that's where I've settled on this one. I'm trying to find the hook now so I can double check. No, that's the 5mm hook. I definitely moved up from that one. There's a hook somewhere in this basket. That's the one I was using. Great. I lost the hook. Where did it go? There's definitely a hook around it. Anyway, I'll find it, but I'm pretty sure I'm using a 5.5mm hook now for this blanket, and I can't remember how wide I made it, but it's I think it's 210 or 215 stitches across, but it's gonna be a nice throw blanket. It's really going to be heavy. It's already heavy, and I'm a little over 5 skeins in because I've got yeah, about a little over 500 grams into this already, and I have plenty of yarn, so we're going to see how big this blanket gets. Nice one to work on in the evening, just to throw on a couple of rows here and there whilst watching TV and things like that. And my last finished project is this humongous blanket, not finished object, crochet blanket. It's almost a finished object. This thing is humongous. It is gigantic. I don't even know what side's the right. I guess this one is double-sided, doesn't really matter. But look how fun and big this is. It is knit using some really super chunky acrylic yarn, and it is so much fun. So I used a 12mm hook, which again feels really ridiculous to use a hook this big. It's a plastic hook. It's just, again, nothing special. So the yarn, I'll grab out a couple of skeins. Actually, I'll grab out the 5 colours I'm using. Is this stuff, and it is yarn that I found in Aldi of all places. I'll get back to the yarn in a second. Quickly just wanted to let you know about the pattern. It's a V-stitch, double crochet V-stitch sort of pattern. It's a pattern I followed from Attic24 on her website, on her blog. Hers is, I think, done in worsted weight. I just guesstimated how much to cast on with the weight and size needle, weight of yarn and size of needle that I was using. I kind of just cast on a bunch of stitches, held it up, and was like, that seems about right, and I did it. And I will tell you, each 2 rows, so each stripe, each colour stripe, uses up 80 grams of yarn. These are 100-gram balls, so it's basically 1 skein per stripe in this blanket, which is fine actually, and there should be enough left over of all of the yarns to get another sort of half of a repeat on from all the leftovers from each stripe. So it should be, I should have just enough yarn. But so like I was saying, the yarn I picked up in Aldi of all places. Aldi and Lidl, I'm pretty sure most people know what that is, but if you don't, they are supermarkets. I believe they originated from Germany, but we've had Aldi and Lidl in the UK for like years. I remember them being here as a child, but they've become more and more popular in the last few years. They've expanded a lot more around the country, and I know there's Aldi in the US. I don't think Lidl is in the US at the moment, but Aldi is. Anyway, every week they have they're both these supermarkets are famous for their middle aisles, where they have random stuff, and it's never the same things. Like every week the stuff in their middle aisles change, and currently they have yarn. Not a lot, not a huge amount of variety, but they do have yarn at the moment. So if you do have, at least in the UK, no idea about anywhere else in the world, if you're in the UK and you have an Aldi or a Lidl nearby and you're interested, they do have yarn at the moment. So these balls of yarn, even though it's, you know, it's 100% acrylic, but it's a really soft acrylic, and it's not actually that bad to work with. I've worked with some acrylic that actually, it squeaks. Their acrylic is so acrylic-y that it squeaks as you use it. But this one is machine washable, and it will be great as a blanket in the living room with the kids and cats and stuff around. So and the yarn was only £1.29 per ball, which is ridiculously cheap, so inexpensive. So I picked up about 20 skeins of this stuff for this blanket, and it's not gonna cost that much at all, and it'll be a really nice, it's already a fairly weighty blanket because I'm what, 11 skeins in, so that's what, over a kilo worth of yarn in here. And this all took me one day. I did this in one day, one evening really. It's really quick, it works out very quickly, which is why I said it's almost a finished object. So I'm going to finish this off. I might put a border on it, we will see, probably will, and yeah, hopefully by next time this will be finished. So yeah, it's just, and then these were essentially, this is essentially the whole range of colours. They also had like a cobalt blue colour, which I didn't think would go with this, it would feel too primary, but I really like it with this green. So the colours I have are gold for the yellow, it's grey for the grey, sea green, cream, and this one's called shocking pink, but I don't think it's particularly shocking, it's just pink, or yeah, like a fuchsia I'd say. Anyway, so those are the colours that I have for that. And having, so now I'm just going to pop this on my lap because it's a bit chilly in here, sorry for my squeaky chair. I will move on to like the mini yarn haul. So along with this kind of yarn, they had Aran weight, they also had some DK weight yarns. Didn't really, I did pick up a couple of skeins of the Aran yarn. There's this grey nickel, I got a white and a black, which I will need for some projects coming up. They also, let me just, I was not prepared for this clearly because I didn't grab everything I needed. Okay, they also had some macrame yarn, and I've been interested in trying out a couple of projects that require macrame yarn in particular, and I've not had macrame yarn. Macrame yarn's quite expensive, or macrame cord, it's quite expensive. I was looking in Hobbycraft and you could get like 150 grams or 100 grams for like £8 or something. It's like stupid expensive, and even online it's not that affordable. And I didn't really, because I'm not planning on getting into like doing tons of macrame. I just wanted a little bit to play around with and to do a couple of projects maybe or something, and I didn't want like to invest a huge amount in it. Anyway, Aldi had these 3 colours of macrame yarn for £1.99 each. I was like, you know what, for that price I will get some, and I got 2 of each skein, each colour. So we've got rust and sage, and these are 150 gram balls, and they had pumice, which is like the natural colour. Why is this so blown out? Oh, okay, I've just realised my camera settings are wrong, but that's why everything's getting blown out. Sorry about that. Hopefully, there we go, that's better. Oh, it's still blowing out. The pumice, and this is a 200 gram ball, but all of them were £1.99 each. So just to let you know, and these are 100% cotton. So yeah, I thought that was a good price and worth snagging a few skeins of that for if and when I decide to work on these projects, because I've not seen it that affordable before. And like I said, because yarn is not something that Aldi and Lidl typically carry, so it's kind of like while stocks last. And I ended up, not intentionally, just as I was going about other things, ended up going to 3 different Aldis and 2 different Lidls. It's just in my area as I was doing other errands or going to other appointments. If there was an Aldi nearby or a Lidl, I would pop in. There's an Aldi and Lidl on the way to and from Layla's school. There's another one nearby, another 2 nearby, and then one that was somewhere else that I went to for an appointment. So it was just kind of as I was going about my day kind of things. Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to show you. Okay, so the other yarn that I got was from Lidl. So funnily enough, even though they're not the same company, they are very similar shops, Aldi and Lidl. And so even though Aldi was doing yarn, Lidl apparently were also doing yarn around the same time. And so they had some Aran weight yarn, but what I was interested in and what I picked up was their sock yarn. They had a good, well, I say good, they had a variety of sock yarn options, and it was $4.99 for each pair. So this is, I believe it's self-striping, DK, oh, this is DK, okay, DK sock yarn. and you get two 75-gram balls. So this actually be good for my dad, he likes thicker socks. So I've got this colorway. I got this one, like this purpley colour, and then this blue colourway. I actually ended up picking up 2 of these, so I have someone in mind who might like this, so it might go to a friend. And then I've got 2 of their 4-ply sock yarn sets, and these are 2 100-gram balls. Again, I believe they're self-striping, and then it comes with a coordinating solid colour. And these were also $4.99, and they're all 75-25 wool, superwash wool and polyamide nylon, essentially. So yeah, I mean, $4.99 for sock yarn is not bad at all, and especially these ones, because you're getting 2 full skeins of sock yarn for $4.99. I don't believe you. It feels like you're like a Regia or an Opal or any sort of other sort of commercial sock yarn that you might be familiar with. It feels like one of those. It doesn't feel particularly rough, particularly scratchy or anything else like that. So I've got 2 of like the standard 4-ply sock yarn and 3, or technically 4 because I got 2 of the blue ones, of the DK sock yarn. Although it doesn't look like a particularly heavy DK, but I would definitely use some thicker needles or some bigger needles for these. But yeah, I'm really happy with these, and especially for my dad, because he likes, he's very hard wearing on his socks. My dad and my brother actually, so I think they would appreciate these. And yeah, so I've got replenished sock yarn that I've needed. Anyway, I really wanted to mention the yarn that I got from Aldi and Lidl, only because it is a limited time thing. And so if you are local to the UK, if you are in the UK and you have a local Aldi or Lidl, I would suggest going and check it out, see if they have anything. They were released a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know what the situation is like in terms of stock at the moment. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know in case you were interested. Okay, I guess we are through all of the stuff that I wanted to share in terms of projects and yarn. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, just general family stuff. Perry's away this week. Again, he's away a lot at the moment, and it's fine. It's just a phase of life. It is what it is. The girls are doing good. Nova had a weekend with my family this past weekend. She was there for the lot from Friday to Monday. And we did this a while ago over the summer after she turned 2, and she loved it. She had the best time. This time, however, I get the feeling that she didn't enjoy it as much. I got a lot of messages from my family being like, she's missing you, she keeps asking for mummy, and they'd send me videos of her basically asking for mummy, and I'm like, are you trying to like hurt me at this point, because this hurts. Like, I felt really bad, and I was so happy to see her again on Monday. I knew she was safe and she was fine. I think she just was I don't know, she's very attached to me, and Layla wasn't like that, so it was just different, I guess. It's probably yeah. Anyway, she won't be doing sleepovers without us for a while now. I think I can't go through that again. That was just too hard. But it did mean that Layla was able to have some one-on-one time with us this past weekend. So Perry and Layla had a daddy-daughter day on Saturday. They went out, they went bike riding, went into town, went for pizza. They just had the best time, just the 2 of them. And then on Sunday, Perry left Sunday morning, and so Sunday was just me and Layla day. And again, it was really nice. We did lots of crafty things, and we hung out, we watched Harry Potter. We were reading each of the books and then watching the corresponding film, because I feel like that makes it less scary, because she knows what to expect and she knows the storylines. So we've read the first 3 books, and we hadn't watched the 3rd movie yet, so we did that the weekend and stuff like that. And it's funny, so her what was it, we were talking about it in the car the other day. It was just really random, I can't remember how it came up, but that was it. I said to her, look, if I put a pile of clean laundry in your room, clean clothes, you know, if it's in your room and you see it, you need to put it away. You shouldn't wait for me to tell you that you need to put your clothes away. Like, you know what the deal is now. And I was starting to talk about responsibilities and how, like, you know, every person in the house has to do their job to help out with the house overall. And at the moment she's still little, but her job is her room. Like, her responsibility in the house is to make sure her room is tidy. It never is, but it's fine. Or, you know, make sure she puts her clean clothes away, make sure she knows where her uniform is, and like, you know, reasonable amounts for a 7-year-old of like responsibility. And I was saying to her, you know, as she gets older, she will be able to give her more responsibilities, like loading the dishwasher or unloading the dishwasher. And right now she doesn't do that because there are sharp things in the dishwasher, and you know, you just had this whole conversation. And then she was asking about the laundry, and she said that she would find, I don't understand this logic in particular, but I went with it. She said, I think I would find it more fun to put my clothes away if I did the laundry from the beginning. I'm like, okay child, you can do the laundry if you'd like. So Perry and I took at the time, we taught her how to do the laundry. To be fair, our laundry is very simple. It's a case of just throw it all in the machine, throw in the washing tablets, close the door, turn the dial, hit play. We're very basic in this house. We don't separate colours, we don't do any of that jazz. It's just everything goes in. If it can't be machine washed, it doesn't go in the wash basket. That's the rule. Perry knows this, I know this. If it can't be machine washed in a regular cycle, if it needs a special cycle, it goes in a different wash basket. It does not go in the main wash basket. So it's literally just a case of dump and go for the laundry in our house. And then you just transfer from, it was the transfer from the washer to the dryer, which we talked to her how to like determine which clothes can go in the dryer, which ones don't. That one we did help her with. And then after it was all dry, we'd pull it all out the dryer and she would sit, fold and sort the clothes. And she did that for every load of laundry for 2 weeks. And I was so proud of her. There were a few times where, you know, we would transfer the clothes from the washer to the dryer, especially if it was at night time or whatever. But the main part of it, which for me is the folding, sorting and distributing the clothes to the right rooms, that she did all by herself. You know, she was so proud of herself. And there was one day, bless her heart, she was folding the laundry and she was just getting to the end of it, and then Perry goes and pulls out a bunch more laundry out the dryer and comes and dumps it on the sofa next to her. And she's just like, where did this come from? Why is there so much laundry? Why does it never end? And I'm like, oh poor child. You are too young to be this disillusioned at this early age. Laundry never ends, and this is a harsh reality she has come to learn. And having said that, we don't do a huge amount of laundry in our house. We actually have this is such a tangent, we have a larger drum washing machine, so we can do much bigger loads. So even though we are probably doing the same amount of laundry as anyone else, it doesn't feel like that much because we do fewer loads each week because our machine can take more clothes. That was a tangent. But it was just funny listening to her basically verbalize everything that Perry and I feel when it comes to doing laundry. It's like, why does it never end? Why is there still more clothes? Why is there still more stuff? Anyway, Perry was like, she's too innocent to have to feel this pain. Anyway, yeah, so that was that funny little realization. But she's really been enjoying it, and I'm not going to force her to do all the laundry all the time. If she wants to, I'm not going to say no to it. She did a good job. She's managed to like fold the clothes properly, and if she gets stuck with anything, she comes and asks us for help, and that's all we've always said to her, if you need help, just let us know. But yeah, she's enjoying having that additional responsibility, so that's nice. It's been helpful as well. And yeah, otherwise, Nova is Nova. She is strong-willed, shall we say. Very stubborn. I thought Layla was stubborn as a toddler. Nova is 10 times more stubborn. Nova is proving to me day in and day out that she's more and more my child than anything else. She is more and more like me than I would care to admit. And yeah, anyway. Okay, I think that's it for today. I don't think I have anything else to add in particular. One thing I will ask you guys is, let me know, what is your favourite crochet blanket pattern? Because clearly I'm really into crochet blankets right now, and I would love to hear what are your favourite patterns. If you can link them below, that'd be amazing. I'd love to see them. And what else was I going to say? I think that's the main thing. I do have another finishing Friday, probably going to come up next week now because I'm doing this for this week. I'm trying to keep a steady rhythm of like one video a week. I have some ideas for other fun sort of video topics, like something a little bit different than my usual podcasting. I will still be doing these podcasts, but they might not be as all-encompassing. Like this time I focused mostly on crochet blankets. I did share about the socks at the beginning, but mostly crochet blankets, so it might be more like topic specific, I guess. I have some other ideas. There's other crafts and things that I've been experimenting with and practicing, like embroidery and punch needling and cross stitch and other things I've been playing around with, so I might do some more videos about other crafts, other fibre crafts that I've been working on and playing around with, as well, interspersed with the knitting and crochet and other things. So yeah, stay tuned and I will speak to you guys again soon, hopefully. Alright, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!